Emilio, the honey badger, Urrutia!
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Honey Badger Hour. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Honey Badger Hour podcast. It's your boy, the Badger, and we are back. Thank you guys for tuning in, and don't forget to like and subscribe on the little notification bell below to keep you up to date on all of our updates whenever we're releasing new podcasts and to help us out with that algorithm. You know we out here just chasing the algorithm. What's going on, y'all? It's been a good week, guys. Good to be back. Welcome to the once again new and improved studio. Thank you guys for hanging in there. I hope you enjoyed last week's episode. We had Alex Shields, co-owner and founder of the world-famous Bangtao Gym, one of my favorite podcasts. We had a lot of great stories, a lot of good stuff, man. Something I'm really looking forward to. An episode I really enjoyed. So I hope you guys enjoyed that one. We're going to keep on trying to bang out more clips so you guys can get that short-form content as well. We are back, law. UFC 305 coming up, guys. We got a stacked card. They're coming at us from Perth, Australia. UFC 305. We got the reigning defending champ, Israel Adesanya, taking on the current champion, 185-pound king, Dricus Du Plessis, in a battle for middleweight championship. Who's going to take that one? That's going to be a great fight, guys. In our co-main event, we got the man, our hometown boy, a veteran of the Honey Badger Hour podcast. We got Kai Kara France taking on Steve Erceg in a super stacked co-main event. But guys, let me tell you something. This card is stacked from top to bottom. You know what's crazy? I've trained with this entire main card, all right? I think I've trained with every athlete on this main card. Starting off the card, let's get right into it, guys. Starting off the card, we got Jingling Lee taking on Carlos Pratas. If you guys don't know, Carlos Pratas is an up-and-coming Brazilian fighter, knockout artist, coming off of the scene, was on the Dana White's Contender Series. That's how he won his UFC contract, getting a vicious knockout in his Dana White Contender Series, okay? And since this guy has come to the UFC, he's been making big noise. He's got a knockout over Traven Giles, all right? And then he has another knockout over a man named Charles Ratatiki. So this dude is on a run right now, all right? I know Carlos from Thailand, old school Thailand veteran. This guy is from the sticks, all right? This guy has been in the game for a long time, getting after it. We've been on a few of the same shows together. We came up on the same circuits. Now, this guy is a vicious, dangerous striker and somebody you definitely want to look out for. He's a knockout artist. He has over 100 Muay Thai fights, guys. So this guy was in the grind, battling it out on the Muay Thai circuit with the best of the best, flying to China, just like we did back in the day. Coming up from my scene, so a guy that I have a lot of respect and admiration for, somebody I've trained with and broke bread with, one of the homies. So I'm looking forward to this one. What's great about this fight is he's fighting a striker in Jingling Lee. Jingling Lee, don't slip on the leech. The leech is a beast. He's fought all the top guys in the UFC at 185. But I'm letting you guys know right now, put the money on Carlos Pratas. I'm calling a second round TKO for my boy, Carlos Pratas, letting the world know that the nightmare has arrived. He's infamous for smoking cigarettes during training camp and on fight week during his interviews. So that's a guy to look out for, guys. Over 100 Muay Thai fights. When you have that many Muay Thai fights, it's different. Things hit different, all right? When you have that many Muay Thai fights, guys, its fighting becomes a lot different. I'm sure the game is a lot slower for him. He sees things that a lot of these guys don't see, and I'm looking forward to seeing him continue. He's on a 3-fight knockout streak in the UFC right now. And I expect him to continue that role, all right? In the next fight of the night, guys, we got the heavyweights going at it. Another hometown boy representing Western Sydney. We got Tai Tuivasa taking on Jairzinho Rozenstruik in a fight that's sure to end by vicious KO. Jairzinho Rozenstruik, very dangerous, very capable striker, all right? But I think Tai Tuivasa in his hometown, I see Tai Tuivasa getting a first-round KO, jumping on stage and popping a shoey. Maybe one of the most epic celebrations in UFC history. I know the whole crowd wants to see Tai Tuivasa get the KO finish in spectacular fashion, jumping on the fence, hitting a shoey for the hometown crowd. This place is going to go nuts, and there's no way you cannot have a Perth, Australia card without Tai Tuivasa. A guy has become a staple in the UFC heavyweight division, a young guy, young gun, agile on his feet, vicious striker, who again has fought the who's who of the heavyweight division, a wily veteran. And then you guys know how it is in heavyweight. It's never over till it's over. That's a sport that's a division where you can start to peak a lot later also. So, guys, that's a Tai Tuivasa. Don't ever get it twisted. I feel like he's a future title contender. How young he was when he started in the game, and his knockout artist and his speed and agility is always a fan favorite. So, I'm going with Tai Tuivasa, second round TKO. Next fight of the night, guys. This one could be fight of the night. I'm calling it right now. We got Mateusz Gamrot taking on Dan Hooker. Another two guys that I spent time with on the mats. I trained with Dan Hooker for years. When he first came to Phuket, Thailand, he did the Tiger Muay Thai tryouts in 2015. Won him with ease. This guy is a wily veteran. Been in the UFC for 10 years, guys. This is a 10-year vet in the UFC. There is nothing Dan Hooker hasn't seen. Coming over a big decision win over Jalen Turner, a guy who has a win over his opponent, Mateusz Gamrot. This is going to be a tough fight, guys, but this is a fight that Mateusz Gamrot is an athlete that Dan Hooker has been fighting for a long time. Mateusz Gamrot is a grappling-based heavy fighter, all right? This guy has great wrestling, superb jiu-jitsu, and really good hands to back it up. He's a former KSW champ from Poland, double champion in KSW. I want to say he was a lightweight champion and the featherweight champion, beating one of my friends for the featherweight title, actually. It's another guy, wicked jiu-jitsu black belt, guys. This guy's jiu-jitsu smooth. His transitions are smooth. He had a very close fight against Arman Tarsukian, all right? He's another one who's had a lot of tough fights, gritty performance, and only has 2 losses to his name. Mateusz Gamrot is rocking a spectacular 24-2 record, okay? Now, he's only been in the UFC. He hasn't been in the UFC for as long as... He hasn't been in the UFC for as long as Dan Hooker, okay? Coming off a win recently, he had a decision win over Rafael Dos Anjos. And his most impressive win for me was when he beat Rafael Fiziev. However, that's a fight in where Rafael Fiziev got injured and hurt his knee. All right, guys. Oh, I'm sorry. He has a win over Jalen Turner. I apologize. He has a win over Jalen Turner, but I thought he lost that fight. So, had a really close fight against Jalen Turner, guys. Dan Hooker also had a great fight with Jalen Turner. So, Dan Hooker, the wily veteran, taking on the up-and-coming gun and Mateusz Gamrot, grappler versus striker. Guys, the thing with this fight is Dan Hooker is a finisher from all aspects of the game, all right? That guy can knock you out. He has a ton of submission finishes, and I can see him looking for the finish early in this fight. I want to say second round, knee up the middle to put the lights out of Mateusz Gamrot and put Dan Hooker in contention for a title once again. Slowly making his climb back up, looking to make this 2 in a row. I got my faith and love and Dan Hooker, another former Honey Badger Hour podcast veteran. Guys, we've had 3 fighters on this card on the Honey Badger Hour podcast, just to let you know. In our co-main event, this is another banger. We got 2 former title contenders. Kai Kara France. Don't blink. Kai Kara France is back in action after a long layoff. Took a little of a break. Had a little bit of an injury in training camp for his last fight. Had to take some time off. Take some time to step away from the cage. He's taking on the former contender, the former number 1 contender, Steve Erceg, in a battle for Anzac supremacy. Who will take this one? Kai Kara France, a knockout artist at heart. This guy, at 125 pounds, guys, he knows how to put people to sleep. That's his specialty. That's his MO, all right? So be looking to look for Kai Kara France to search for that KO. Looking to keep this fight on the feet, using his feints, movement, speed, and agility to put Steve Erceg's lights out. If I was Steve Erceg with a spectacular 12-2 record, okay, He just came off of a very close loss to the current champion, Alexandre Pintajo, okay? So, Steve Erceg's looking hungry, man. He's never lost 2 in a row, and he's looking to solidify his last loss with a solid win over Kai Kara-France to bring him back into his number 1 contender status. I got Kai Kara-France, guys, on this one via decision, all right? I see him keeping this fight on the feet, being too fast, and being too strong for Steve Erceg. And in the main event, guys, we got a banger for the middleweight title. We got the battle. Israel Adesanya, the former middleweight champion, taking on the current middleweight champion, Dricus Du Plessis, in a fight where we got everything you want in a fight in this battle, guys. We got bad blood. Israel Adesanya looking to reclaim middleweight title, becoming a 3-time middleweight champion. Guys, if Israel Adesanya, like I expect him to, comes out and dominates and finishes Dricus Du Plessis, he will be a 3-time middleweight champion, losing and regaining his title twice in spectacular fashion. That is things of a la Muhammad Ali. I cannot wait for this one. This is going to be fight of the year, the long-anticipated return of Israel Adesanya, Dricus Du Plessis. Very tough stylistic matchup for both athletes, okay, guys? Dricus Du Plessis is going to have to deal with the elusiveness and feints, takedown defense, and rapid-fire striking of Israel Adesanya. Dricus Du Plessis, Israel Adesanya is going to have to look out for, and which is really hard to train for, is Dricus Du Plessis' awkwardness, okay, guys? Dricus Du Plessis is very awkward. He's here and there. He's back and forth. You know what I'm saying? This guy is wild with it, bro. He looks like he should not be the UFC champion, all right? When you see this guy fight, you've seen amateurs with like 5 or 6 fights that look cleaner and smoother on the pads than this guy. But with a fantastic, outstanding record of 21-2, Dricus Du Plessis is one that you cannot sleep on, all right? This guy has cardio for days. He's chiseled and jacked like John Rambo, all right? And he's a big, hungry, young middleweight champion coming off a big win off of Sean Strickland. A fight that a lot of people thought Sean Strickland won. A lot of people thought Du Plessis won. On my first time watching the fight, I thought Du Plessis won. On the second time watching the fight, I thought Du Plessis lost. So maybe I have to watch that fight one more time to tell you guys how I really think. But Dricus Du Plessis skating away with a victory over Sean Strickland, who just defeated Israel Adesanya. But guys, just like in the case of Mateusz Gamrot and Dan Hooker, MMA math does not add up. Okay, guys? MMA math does not add up. Israel Adesanya lost to Sean Strickland. Dricus Du Plessis beat Sean Strickland. However, that does not mean that Dricus Du Plessis is automatically the favor against Israel Adesanya. Okay? Styles make fights, and the pressure and the movement that Adesanya is going to bring in this fight, I reckon is going to be a lot different than the fight from Sean Strickland. Okay? Sean Strickland's a guy that if you can stand toe-to-toe with, okay? He doesn't have like the most finishing, crippling KO power, even though he did hurt Adesanya in the last fight. So, you know, anybody can get hurt, especially with those 4-ounce gloves. All right, you catch the wrong shot, and things change quickly. So Sean Strickland does hit unassumingly hard, but is not known for his vicious KO power. Okay, Du Plessis is known for being a little bit soppy, a little bit awkward, taking a lot of damage to land damage of his own. He does have very effective grappling, though. This guy likes to grapple. He likes to wrestle. He likes to tussle on the ground. And he is not afraid to get down and dirty. So keys to victory, guys. What does Dricus Du Plessis got to do? He's got to stay in Israel Adesanya's face the whole time. Keep Israel Adesanya on his back foot, moving backwards, okay? It's always hard. Sometimes the best defense is a really good offense, okay? So if I'm Dricus Du Plessis, I'm feinting, I'm level changing, and I'm making this fight ugly from the very beginning. Shooting it on Izzy's legs, putting him up against the fence, trying to put him on his back and punch him on top, make him tired, take away his power, take away his explosiveness, take away his speed and athleticism in the early rounds, you know? Wear at him. Bam, bam, bam. If I'm Israel Adesanya, I got to stay light on my feet, all right? I got to work that jab, firing off with that right hand, looking for that counter left hook that has taken away the likes of Robert Whittaker, Paulo Costa, and so many others. Anyways, guys, I'm really excited for this card. UFC 305, a card that has been with a lot of guys that I've mixed up with. I'm really proud of all these guys, of all the homies, all right? Putting on a show. It's kind of crazy, you know, because the Perth, Australia, when these guys fight in Perth, Australia, they're going to be fighting at 9, 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. I know Dan Hooker and Kai, a lot of these guys are already used to it. So I know Australia, that arena is going to be sold out. The champ is going to be there. Volk's going to be there ringside to cheer on the boys. Cannot wait for this one. This is going to be what's sure to be a card of the year. The return of Israel Adesanya, something you do not want to miss. Anyways, guys, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Hope everything's been going well. I apologize for not having an episode last week. We were moving, so as you see, we're making a new studio. I'm working on some new great episodes for next week to drop out for you guys. So we're going to have some really good content. We're going to have some really strong stuff, all right? So we can really slam it out the park. Keep the channel growing, guys. We appreciate the love. I appreciate the support, all right? We've had a lot of good comments and feedback on the recent episodes, so we're going to keep trying to put out that good content, you know? Anyways, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. We got a lot of new content coming out for you this week. Make sure to drop a comment in the little section below. Drop a comment below. Let us know what you want to see next. We'll see you guys next week for another episode of the Honey Badger Hour. Godspeed and party on.